Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Ephemeral One, and welcome back to more Dark Souls 3. Still at 4 of the 5 lords on their seats, but we've reached somewhere unbeknownst to us, the Ringed City at the heart of the world. And, well, this is where things are starting to get rough. The roughest they will be, anyway. After all,
Just wasn't it?
now we're reaching the point where we're starting to reach the secrets and things left hidden from the very origins of the story. Scales. That requires basic Titanite. Black Knight Glaive? Why not? Okay. We'll go with that for now.
Pretty big, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Just because it's more... Though it's interesting, actually, looking at that. Huh. They're virtually identical. I'd say Yeah. Interesting. Anything else I want to spend the money on? Anything else worthwhile? Ordained dress. It's the outfit of Sister Friede. After renouncing everything, Friede discovered a people that she wished to protect and assumed the precise form they yearned for. A maidenly mother, which Father Ariandel assisted with. Gundir's gauntlets. Gundir, or the Bladed Champion, was bested by an unknown warrior. He then became a sheath to a coiled sword in hopes that someday the first flame would be linked once more. Exile... Oh, of course! The Golden Crown. Crown of the Nameless King who was allied to the ancient dragons. This crown, buried amidst the long strands of bristling ash, is said to closely resemble that of the First Lord. Dragon Scale Armor. Dragon scales are razor sharp and cannot be burned. It is a heavy armor. Let's see. The Millwood set. Armor worn by the Knights of Millwood. The charbronze plate and thick black cape are adorned with the symbol of the ethereal oak. When the fabled Millwood forest was discovered, it was a vacant ruin. The only thing left was the ethereal oak stood rotting. No corpses were discovered, yet their belongings lay neatly on the ground, because they had been drawn into the painted world. So we know their fate, and the fate of the painted world of Ariandel, which was a holding point. What we didn't get to really explore is the fact that the person who's from there was Pontiff Sulivan. So, the funny bit is, despite being only the middle game enemy, much of what is gone wrong with the world can be traced back to Sulivan's meddling. If I was to pick an armor set, might as well to pick up something. The black eyes of the Pontiff eventually transformed the dancer into a beastly creature, her armor fusing with her own hide. Which is interesting because what that implies is that thus she was held in that pocket dimension until the High Priestess was killed. Again, and Sulivan sicked her on the Knights, but we don't really know the entire story. Well,
Ashen One.
that should be good to start with. Now let's return to the Ring City streets. There's much more to see in the Ring City, and much more to understand. Though the fact that the streets are now sinking into the darkness of the abyss, the same way that the consumed garden was, should tell you a lot about the types of beings you can expect to find here. We got ambushed by them earlier. These human-faced bugs. That seek to feast on us. That are capable of wielding magic. Yep. And there... And they're fully sentient. They're one of the only enemies in this game that actively talk. And that should tell you a lot. These are natives of the dark. This is their natural landscape. This world falling into the curse is where they are most from. Yep. And again, note that they spew out that sort of toxin from the behind. The smaller ones are less... When they see us and you draw too close, they run away. Again, these things are native to this. They're not bothered by this at all. And here we can see they even just lower themselves into it, into this muck, with no problem. I shall partake. Yep. Yeah. There's an inexhaustible hunger in each and every one of these creatures. They care for their target and the food that they, sustenance that they offer. Alright. Baiting out another one. Because obviously they won. But yeah, they're one of the few enemies that are so actively vocal. And honestly, after the grunts, groans, moans that you have become so accustomed to, it's honestly disconcerting. And here we see another one of these giants that can summon the archers, just wandering back and forth in the muck, Likely he was guarding this place until it sunk so much that he could do nothing but walk back and forth. Oh. He's calling his... Yep. But yeah. Oop. Yeah. He's calling his soldiers. Yeah. And they're not any slouches. He's calling silver knights, and he calls a mage. Yeah, and once he knows where you are, he's not going to let go. And yeah, the little ones offer very little. I know that's kind of redundant to say, but you get my point. Alright. So, and again, now that we know... Oh, you're actually going to take a swing at me. Okay. And yeah, there's a head in the water. So this one is obviously a trap. But we may as well fall for it. Twinkling Titanite. And yeah. It's just one of the little ones. They're not actually that damaging, but if they break your guard by being behind you, then there can be some quite unfortunate effects if, say, they're the last hit on breaking your guard. And here we can find... Yep. One of those cleric knights. These clerics, stone-humped clerics. Which seem to be almost a mockery of human shape. They're definitely humanoid, but the way they crawl and the hump grows out of their back. Yep. I can hear one of them speaking. Yep, there's another one of the clerics. So he'll just keep dropping that spell on us. Ah, there's multiple of you. Ow. Oop. Okay, I did manage to topple him. Yep. There we go. Managed to get through. And now... the white birch bow. There it is. A short bow crafted with white birch, endowed with light manipulating magic. This bow is a relic from an ancient land of sorceries that is swallowed by the abyss, most known for its folkloric folktale of the heroic abyss walker. Arrows shot by large pulls of the bow are enchanted with a golden spell that turns them nearly invisible. So, the land they're speaking of is Ulasil, who also was swallowed up in darkness the exact same as this. Something that is a tale all too well known. The story of Artorias, who came to stop the spread of the abyss only to fall prey to it himself. And here, young white branches. The branches of a young white birch, where even now, even this far away, life still pursues and tries its best to survive. It's something worth to think about. And here, these beings are praying. These clerics knelt in prayer around this monument. So there's something sacred here. The Church Guardian Shiv. Where is it? Oh, no, wait, I forgot. It's not I believe it's a usable item. Yep. Throw illusory blades that seek foes. A special throwing blade that has a flat tip and is wielded by the Guardians of the Church of Filianor. Consume FP to project illusory blades which seek their targets. Guardians of the Church, of whom few remain, watch over Princess Filianor's eternal slumber along with the spears of the Church. So, this has the telltale, unique place design of those who were followers of Filianor. Well, if you'll recall, the other group that followed Filianor, then, reasonably, would be those who wielded... did I put it away? Yeah, I think I did. The Painting Guardians. They're another group that actually wielded a very similarly shaped weapon. So if we can... And, for those curious, it's unlimited use. It's not exactly powerful, but it does allow us to have an easy method, so long as we have FP, to be able to grab an enemy from the distance. So, yep, it's a great way to isolate enemies. Yeah, I see ya. You coming? Thank you. Alright. For the hardiness these creatures have, they obviously don't have these are not enemies that are, I guess the best way to phrase it is, they're obviously not, there's not a huge amount of competition for them. They seem to be fairly sentient. I mean, they speak to us. Again, doesn't do much damage, but fantastic for pulling enemies in. And in some cases, even just stunning and throwing them off for a bit. And again, it's so interesting that these creatures are the first ones that are completely vocal and seemingly completely sentient. They seem obsessed with their hunger, which makes sense. They're feeding off of souls, which is why they drop them. Ow. Oh. And that wax slows your speed. So you just have to be a little careful for a few seconds. And they do hit hard. I mean, no surprise. Alright. There we go. Now, you'll note I'm taking the long way around here. I'm avoiding the big giant in the center. Though note, that doesn't mean my journey will be any easier. This is because, note, over here, Hadal Knights are pretty beefy guys, and there's a bunch of dead ones. Like, there's a lot of dead Hadal Knights. These abyss-headed fools were put to the end. And look what's there in the very back. Yeah. Probably gonna need something a little faster. So, yeah, let's go with the Wolf Knights. Alright. After all, we've seen this once before. This may seem a little random to some of you. A Dragon Slayer armor? Here? But we kind of thought the Pilgrim Butterflies were controlling it. So what would be controlling it here? That's a good question to ask. I mean, there's nothing here. There's no support. What could possibly? Oof. Hits just as hard as I remember. Ow, forgot the second slam. That's on me. Yep. Yep, got the second. Yep, caught me. Yeah. No boss thing came up. No, he's just here. I don't believe he's a one-off enemy, though. I don't believe he respawns. But it also just seems all too appropriate to go with Artorias. Just because of all people, Artorias is definitely one of those who shares a linked fate with places that are sunken to the abyss. Yep. Yeah. This is what you typically want to avoid, though. Two of these guys can stagger their attacks. Yep. Yeah. Two of them can stagger their attacks, and this is the... Yep. That's what they mean by feasting. They're not exaggerating. They're going to try and eat you. They consume your flesh and the soul. They are neither exaggerating nor are they being metaphorical. These creatures can, will, and will delight in devouring you. I'm gonna try and get my souls. I'm just trying to decide if I want to push in a different direction or get my souls back. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, the little ones. Yeah, if I do it this way, I should be able to largely be ignored. To get my souls back. As you can see, much of the people here don't care. They're not preoccupied. You may be an invader, but you'll be consumed all the same. Alright. Okay. See if I can do this again. Okay. Yep, I need more stamina. Okay, heal up. Because every hit of this guy is yeah. And we got off pretty easy with the original dragon armor because we had Kareem Aegon with us to help out. No, this one's a one-on-one. Yeah. Though with those big sweeps, it's clear why Dragon Slayer armor would struggle with a big guy. With a little guy like us. Yep. It's because he's made for, well, the title says it all, dragons. Yeah. This guy is pretty much a test of can you time your rolls? Because that's about the only way you're going to get any damage in. Holding L1 and being defensive is not going to work. You pretty much have to just time your rolls. Holding L1, remember, holding L1 decreases your stamina regen rate significantly. Yeah. Yep. And that's why he has the staggers. Yep. Yep. Alright. Got him. Got him. And the Iron Dragon Slayer armor set. It's heavy. Stark melted iron helm of the ancient Dragon Slayer armor. The armor, defeated by the champion of Ash in Lothric, was left ages to rust, until it slipped into an abyssal swamp, where it was possessed once again by the memory of the hunt. Like, this is heavy, heavy armor. But it is, like, I'm using the Ring of Favor +3 and Havel's Ring, and it's still, and I've got, 15 vitality, so I need to add some more for that. But it is worth noting, it is immensely heavy, but it is so powerful. A Titanite scale. So yeah, this place is where the Dragon Slayer armor just frenzied, possessed by the will of the hunt, the memories of hunting. Well, after all, this place, this swamp, is built on so much. It's no surprise this place is slowly descending into the abyss. There's so much here. And yet, all the same, it's pretty empty, isn't it? And these bugs, they're sort of just gathering souls out of the muck. I mean, all they're doing is walking around and scratching at the muck, mining out souls for them to devour. It's the reason that the only thing they drop is souls. Their magic spell is unique, but it's nothing but replicating simple branches to scratch at us. Have you noticed how quiet this place is? There's an oppressive stillness to it. And here we see more of these knights with the dark sign branded into their chest. They seem to be guarding this church. Well, the last time we fought them, they were also guarding a church. Perhaps they were the knights that patrolled this place, protected it. And we heard them described as the Spears of Philion. Wow. And look how ferociously they guard this place. Ow. Ready to go at a moment's notice and with the ferocity as if they haven't been here for aeons. And yep. I didn't realize I was that close to the edge. My bad. Oh well. Yeah, we haven't tried out the fire daggers in a bit. Doesn't seem like they got much. I mean, that's our own fault. We have neither much faith nor intelligence. That's only what, 280? Yeah. The Black Knight Glaive we haven't used. Because you have to remember, the Black Knights, Artorias himself was a knight of Gwyn, so it wouldn't be out of place to imagine him using something like the Black Knight shield. Well, the silver would have been the more appropriate at the time. But yep. Nope, got me. Damn it. Off. Heal up. There we go. But no. The follower javelin, which is your basic spear, really. But oh, what the hell, the heavy smiked mace. This'll be worth a laugh. Haven't tried this out against these guys yet. Well, it two-shots them. Yep. Well, 3 hits and it looks like the bleed procs, so that's good to know. But that does put us back at the... just so I can get under for the roll. Alright. And yeah, just checking, yeah. Dragon Slayer Knight Dragon Slayer is in fact gone. Okay. So at the very least, we can come this way in the hopes of getting our souls back. If not, oh well. This place has a fantastic payout. And note that I got all those souls without having to put on any, like, souls up. Like, if you increase the souls you can get using something like the Silver Soul Serpent Ring and such, you can make bank in this place pretty easily. Alright. With that, I think I'm going to go invest these souls real quick. Because we need to be stronger. And let's see, we're at 68,000 apiece, so yeah, we can. That should be enough for 2 levels.
Welcome, speak. Very well. Then take none.
Let these souls withdrawn from their vessels.
Alright. 38. After, if we manage to hit 40 on strength and dexterity, then I think we'll start moving towards vigor and endurance again.
Farewell, Ash, may the flame.
Alright. So, make no mistake, folks, we've still got plenty of ways to go. I think now we'll take on the giant. Hey, Survivor. Because he's actually guarding some stuff and, well, and we'll see where this brings us. Well, you know what it comes after Tri-High. Quad de Lo. Yep, we've gotten pretty good at handling these bugs at this point. But never think that they're not a threat. They can be rough, and especially if you get a couple of them on your back all at once, they can become an issue. That and that single lance lunge they do has far greater range than it has any right to. But no sweep. It has no movement to the left or right. It is just a drop. It's just a drop. Alright. Now, like I said, we'll be going after the giant here. The problem isn't the giant by himself. The problem is all these little guys are going to come after you too. And as you've seen, with his archers, you can just, like, run around. You are not in huge danger. Just keep running around, the archers won't hit you. The problem, yeah, is his casters and support aside from it. And part of that's my own fault. I forgot he summons the witch multiple times. All right. So now, and I'm doing all right. I'm just enjoying being this late in the game. Yeah. But yeah, getting rid of this giant is going to be one of the things that really helps you out for this area. Makes your life a little easier, because I think this giant is, if I remember right, one of the last guardians of the eastern side of this swamp. Oh, he saw me, so now come the archers. Yep. 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 No, I haven't looked at the trailer yet, but I'll be doing a lot more trailer watching tomorrow, as tonight is the Game Awards. And that's where I'm going to be really interested. Because there's naturally going to be a ton of different trailers coming out. But I work tonight, so I won't be able to watch it live, unfortunately, folks. So I will be doing a reaction tomorrow morning. Nope, damn it, did it again. Ow, 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 off. There we go. But yeah. So the plan is I won't watch it tonight, but it does mean I get to skip over anything too boring. Alright. And you. Now I'm not gonna go out there that far so that the giant doesn't get triggered. But yeah. GTA 6 is gonna be interesting. Hey, Demon Slayer. Hey, I don't want to know what. That's what we all hope for, but I'm not going to say anything to jinx it. I just want to hope for. And we let the feast begin. Yeah. All right. So this giant has a few more tricks than the first one did. Like I said, you can walk around the archers pretty easily. They're not the problem children. The problem children is the witches. He'll summon several of them, and that you have to roll to stagger their spells, because they hit hard. Alright. While he's doing the knights, you're actually pretty safe. No. I'll be surprised if they actually do a Dark Souls 4, if I'm perfectly honest. Or at least any kind of Souls. Especially after Elden Ring. I think they're more in the mood to do something a little different. It's why we got Armored Core 6. But we got a hidden blessing. Again, another thing from the Queen of Lothric, whom we never see. Titanite chunk. Alright. So, there's the big cathedral out here. But if you look around here, further to the east, past him, we kept seeing this one guy over here.
And so she lived in fear of the dark, of the things that gnawed at her flesh. And yet, the abyss hath yet to produce any such creature. Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin. And so, despite his weighty armor, he lived in fear of a delicate thing, little more than a girl, where fire resideth, shadows twist and shrivel, but in the abyss there are shadows none. Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin.
These storytellers. We've seen a tradition of storytellers all throughout the game. The bird-like creatures with the staffs.
And so, she lived in fear of the
Feeling it?
dark,
So he's
of the
telling us the
things that
story of this
gnawed
place.
at her flesh, and yet the abyss hath yet to produce any such creature. Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin.
There he's talking about Filianor, who, being a creature of light, the daughter of Gwyn, she feared the dark, that it would devour her. And yet, there was none. The Ringed Knight Straightsword. This tells us quite a bit, actually, if I remember. Straightsword wielded by the Ringed Knights. The arms of early men were forged in the abyss and betray a smidgen of life. For this reason, the gods cast a seal of fire upon these swords, and those who possess them. Stand ready with the time-worn blade as it restores its ancient brilliance and reignites a short-lived flame. From this stance, transition to normal or strong attack. It's little more than a basic straight sword. You swing it and thrust. And yeah, a short-lived flame. That works off of the bonus you would have towards your fire damage. The Ringed Knights, who were given the emblem of the dark sign on them. Because, remember, they're creatures of dark, the same as us, the same as so many. We're all creatures of darkness. Hell, even you, my friend.
And so, despite his weighty armor, he lived in fear of a delicate thing,
The girl.
little more than a
Billy
girl, where fire resideth, shadows twist and shrivel, but in the abyss there are shadows none. Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin.
Indeed. What they're telling us is the history of this place. And as you can see, the little ones and you can hear them chanting, "Let the feast begin, let the feast begin." The feast of what? The preacher's right arm. Like I said, it's a little dangerous, but to upset so many of these guys at once, but nice. Luckily they... Nope. There we go. Yep. Because for them, we're nothing but a source of food. There we go. There we go. Alright. We are a source of souls, their primary food. Yep. Yep. Heal up. There we go. Yeah. And as far as the spell they're using, it's about the most rudimentary of magics. Simply channeling magic power in their claws. And note that not all of them automatically attack us. It's one of those interesting little details that not every one of them is blinded by their hunger. But there are many of them. So the thing to note is, these are one of the few creatures who aren't hollow. This is their natural state and status. The White Preacher Head. An empty head of a white-faced locust that rose from an abyssal swamp. The white-faced locusts are meant to beckon men to the dark with sermons, but most of them are unable to think past their own stomachs. Someone must rise to the occasion and restore the path of righteousness. Perhaps that someone is you. Did you not arise from the abyss? And did you not resist drowning in the age of fire? Locusts and men are kindred spirits. We take what we need. Or so they would tell us. Oh, you gonna take a swing at me? Okay. Sorry, I'm checking for something. I remember there being a puzzle here. Remember there being a puzzle. And I'm trying to remember where it was exactly. But yeah, the locusts are little more than one of the Abyss's messengers, attempting to urge you to discard all things into the abyss to feed their stomachs, of course. If I remember. Basically, there's a ladder somewhere down here, if I remember. Oh well. I might just be jumping the gun. Because there's a bit of a funny trick. If in many places you can use the items, the white branch. Transform, blending into the environment. If you use it here, I'm truly trying to remember. Oh well. I think it must be later and I'm just misremembering. Anyway, so now that we know a bit more about these ringed knights, who still stand there and protect the citadel. Yep. But yeah, the locusts are just base creatures of the abyss, looking to effectively trick you into giving up, submitting to the abyss so that they can feed their stomachs. There's no nobility in these things, just survival. Now, it's true that there is a lot of unexplored territory in the underground, that's true. But that's not necessarily where we'll be going. Damn it. And got thrown off. There we go. Alright. Yep. Ow. Yep, that sucks. Yeah, and this is where the little horde starts to become a problem. Nope. 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 Damn it. Didn't realize the little horde there was gonna friggin' follow me. Though, if you want to talk about Elden Ring and that whole underground area, the other question I would have for a lot of you guys is, what do you think that white liquid flowing out of the tree, out of the Erd tree is? Let's see. By the way, we did pick up Preacher's right hand. Ah, there it is. The desiccated right hand of a white-faced locust that rose from the abyssal swamp. That happens to perform as a catalyst for sorcery. The white-faced locusts were meant to beckon men into the dark with sermons, but most of them are unable to think past their stomachs, the unruly mob. Use souls to weave a sharp branch to fillet prey. Can be used repeatedly. But yeah. So it's a heavy magic damage melee weapon that's fairly light for a caster, so yeah, it's an absolute fantastic weapon for that. Couldn't remember if it was up in the daggers or down. But yeah. Yep. There we go. But yeah. Now the hardest part will be getting past... We're to the point where getting past the Ring Knights is where things are going to get rough. Because the Ring Knights have fought with the same ferocity from the dawn of time till now. Yep. And this branch is about the most rudimentary of magics. And yeah, the giant did come back. He is just a regular enemy down here. So, it is entirely possible for it to be utterly not worth taking him on. That's kind of what I wanted to show. There we go. And flipping over these little guys can be worth it. Nope. Yeah, they're minor bosses. So your best bet is honestly to just work around him. He's going to cost you more Estus Flask charges than you're really worth. And yeah, your best bet is getting... It's the reason I got rid of the Dragon Slayer armor. Because if I'm honest, most of these guys aren't paying attention to you here. So once you get rid of the Dragon Slayer armor, you can just take the left-hand side. Gundir's Halberd, the fact that it has infinite endurance comes in handy, and still has a relatively good combo, as well as having the charge can really help you out. Let's see, can I go back to the... I should be able to get back up to, yeah, the Black Knight Shield, just because that is a fairly good weapon. But yeah, this is usually your best route to get around the swamp. Now, as far as these Ring Knights, there are 4 of them here. One on the top, one there, there's a one on the right side of the chapel we can't see, and there's one over here. So we'll start with the Spear Knight. Now, these guys, like I said, fight with the ferocity, but they are still humanoid enemies. So, Gundir's charge can put them on their ass. The Black Witch's Veil. The purple veil of the witch Zuli, who intended to seduce Alva the Wayfarer, but eventually became his closest supporter, spending her entire life with him. Zuli's veil was for travel and to hide her affiliation with the misunderstood craft of witches. So it was a protective veil. No surprise she discarded it, and it's only the veil we find down here in the abyss. And note, you don't have to engage those Ring Knights. He's the only one down here. Oh no, you do. Okay, I was thinking this was the shortcut, but nope. Excuse me, had to sneeze. But more often than not, getting rid of this guy is usually your best first step. Because dealing with the other two up there can be kind of rough. Oh. We got the... Okay. Can I get a lock on? Nope. Oh, if he's going to come after me, sweet. Yeah, because, again, you don't... most of those magic guys are actually something similar to what Lap is wearing. Meaning they were likely... Considering the giants here are all part of the... The giants, I believe, are part of Filianor's guard. So, if I'm not mistaken, they're the humans. They'd be the humans who were used by Gwyn as their soldiers. So let's see. Alright. Alright. Yep. This guy is far... Now, these guys are far more aggressive than the spear ones. And are, without hesitation, bigger on attacking. Ow. Ow. Heal up. Yep. Luckily that... Okay. Got him up. Got him on his ass. Okay. I could probably get away with this. Yep. Another Titanite chunk. Great, the little bug horde's coming. Alright, let's do this. Yeah. I forgot he actually comes out of the swamp. I thought he stayed in it. Okay, we're fine. Alright. Yeah, these two will be aggressive because the whole horde is. Alright. Okay. And I do have enough Estus to be able to get a full charge, so... Alright, he saw me. And yeah. Alright. There we go. Yep. Dealing with the knights is not easy. There we go. But note that they have an ember in them. So there's a spark. Nice. So, unsurprisingly, they're a form of unkindled. They have a spark in them. Alright. I think that might be... What was that? Oh! That's not good. You're big. You're really big. Anytime the world shakes, that's generally not a good sign. But what is a good sign is I can see fire over there. Want to guess where this one leads? I want to secure this, because this brings us back to the bonfire. So yes, all of this was to open this door. But it also reveals something interesting. A place where those ring knights are shown in a position of subservience, kneeling. Note that the silver knights are held standing with their swords at the ready, and the primordial serpents are on a pedestal, showing them in a grand, imposing figure, but the ringed knights are subservient. They're knelt down. Also, the interesting detail on their weapons. Look at around the head, around the base of the spearhead. Those tendrils and branches sticking out of them. They were forged of the abyss, and remember what we've been told and what we've seen. Those branches were probably part living. The ember that we see in the sword of the ring knights that allows them to become, it allows it to flare up. Again, we're able to wield that flame. And just here, there's more of those hooked tendrils. And you know what this actually does, reaching back to Elden Ring? The omens. The discarded and bastard children, whose horns would grow uncontrollably. Particularly a pair of twins born to a grand king.
Ah, 'tis good, wasn't he?
Let's see, this one uses Twinkling Titanite, so we can, so we can, note that its more physical damage gets better than its, the physical damage gets much better than the fire damage it actually does. Alright. Heavy, blessed. Any other weapon? The Hadal Knight. Because it does D. So if you just do heavy, it becomes B. C. Refined would just be a straight upgrades. Raw damage is not great. And especially late game, raw damage is almost never worth it. And the rest are all elementally aligned. Adding poison, bleed. So yeah, more than likely our best bet would just be to use a refined gem. Because that ends up being... okay. Yeah, it ends up being just more worth it. Alright, so refined Herald Greatsword. Hadal Greatsword. Yeah, 151 to 145 on its... yeah.
Pretty, I don't.
Okay, and now I'm kind of curious. Titanite shards. I just need... Let's do... I believe it's 12. 10.
Ashen.
Yeah, I'll have more souls for you later.
Just what neat.
So... That is some disgustingly good damage, actually.
Pretty, I go.
That is actually disgustingly good damage. Hang on. 509 at +9. And if we go to the full, we can get an idea of what a Hadal Knight looked like before they fell, or they exiled and were banished from their homeland, departing, well, for the full effect. This would be a Hadal Knight before they became that bloated mess. Again, 509 base attack power. Before two-handing, and then after two-handing, 539. Not bad. And of course, their trademark ability. Not bad. Not bad at all. Malformed black gauntlets of the Ring Knights, the armor of early men was forged in the abyss and betrays a smidgen of life. For this reason, the gods cast a seal of fire upon such armor, and those who possess them. After all, darkness doesn't exist. Darkness can exist without light, but shadows cannot. As we were told, they didn't. Thus, the seal of fire, the dark sign, is to cast things into shadow. Well, there's also so much in this game to take in. This game is an artistic masterpiece. I have to say that. By the way, if we truly want... Oh, okay. Oh, there's a greater variety of... I'll say that. There's a greater variety of weapons in this game than we see in Elden Ring. Absolutely. Alright, we'll get the rest of the Nameless Kings.
Ashen Watma.
Just what neat.
So what was it? To +8. Titanite scales. Yeah, the storm curved sword. Okay. So that'll... It's not great damage overall. We're not built for it, but it's still decent.
Pretty, I go.
But it's also a curved sword, so it's kind of one of those... It's more for bleeding and such. Anyway. Actually, with what we're heading towards, we might as well don the appropriate armor. The golden bracelets. Alright. And Wolf Knights? Yeah, that'll be. After all, with where we're headed and what we're looking towards, it's best to be dressed for the appropriate motions. I think they each evoke a different feeling, though. Oh, if you're talking about an Elden Ring, then yeah, a lot of the knight armors are very similar. But I can understand that, considering the scale of Elden Ring, it's understandable why they created an open world game based on these, where these are far more. The Dark Souls games are very closed in and claustrophobic. You have a very set experience that you will touch. What you will touch, what you will see, are all pretty pre-scripted. Well, I showed you what it was, but there. A great dragon covered in the darkness of the abyss. The Lady of Filianor did ask us to put this dragon down, for it loses its mind to the abyss. You see, the curse of being hollow and losing your mind, well, it simply is part of what we are. The dark soul we're pursuing is the soul of a human. Oh, another night. Yeah, the variety of stats and such in this game compared to Elden Ring. Like, it's not that they were being unoriginal in Elden Ring. It's that it's just purely that between the two, this game has far more variety. Titanite scales, probably shed by the dragon as it was moving through this area. But the dragon great shield. This shield, hard as a great boulder, is formed by the head of the descendant of an archdragon. The ring knights, by command of the gods, stood amongst the ranks who set out to slay the dragons, but their contributions were never lauded. Even the descendant of an archdragon perishes not, and used this skill to restore its former strength, sending surrounding foes flying with a dragon's roar. They're not kidding about the immortals, about the scales of immortality that Seath. Yeah, that Seath sought to replicate with crystals. The simple truth is, these dragons didn't die, and when beheaded, these knights, the ringed knights, used their heads as shields. And here comes the problem. Yep. Yep. Oop. Hold the shield up. Yeah, you can hide in here are places you can hide to get away from the flames. And we'll go with the lance for right now, just because we're going to end up in some narrow corridors, and I don't want my weapon bouncing off everywhere. Yep, here it comes again. They definitely put everything they had into that war. Alright. Ow. Okay. Well, and here we get to see this dragon sweeping around, back and forth, coating this area in flames. Yeah. There we go. Yep. Oop. Getting out of its way. Yep. As far as I can tell, note that even the dragon's flames are tainted black by the abyss. And here we find, again, a replication of something we know well. This... oh, that would... okay, a Total War Dark Souls games would be actually really good. It'd be interesting, to say the least, of all the factions. I mean, imagine being able to command Ulasil versus Gwyn's army versus, Faram versus all these other imaginative and vibrant kingdoms we're told about. Yeah, I could see that. But, yep. Because, I was going to say, every crystal lizard is a trap. And here we go. Invaded by the Dark Spirit Moaning Knight. There's that. Okay. And remember, I'm not in human form, so if I'm being invaded by a knight, that's scripted, which means he's going to be a pain in the ass. Alright, over here. Well, no, see, actually, I would see Nameless King and the Archdragon Peak. They would be sort of a coincidental independent army. Like, they would have a feud with the Drakeblood Knights from the beginning, and, like, you would have to decide which faction you want to deal with. Or how you want to deal with both factions. Alright. And this would be why I chose the lance. Because fighting in this area with a great hammer or anything that swings wide sucks. Because his weapon ain't bouncing off the wall, but yours sure as hell will. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Got him. But yeah. Wasn't that Jorg? Jorg was the dragon that got woken up by the Drake Blood Knights and sank the and it and basically destroyed the sunken city. Because, well, that's the thing. They wouldn't be Black Knights. They would be the Silver Knights. Remember that. And then from there you have Silver. Because if you're playing at the point where they are actually a kingdom, the Black Knights don't exist. The Black Knights start with Gwyn linking the fire. They turn black because of the uncontrolled flame. And I think we're far enough now. We can talk about, finally, the linking of the fire. We hear it called that, time and time again. The truth of the matter is, what you're linking it to, what we all have a shared heritage. Us humans, the locusts, the ring knight, we're all tied to the dark. What you're linking the fire to is that infinite well of humanity that we are told about in Dark Souls 1 is where humanity comes from. By the way, I adore this little loop of, okay, I just got to go up the stairs and I can get back to where I was. Which is entirely true. And then it just drops you back where you started. I'll always adore that because it's that realization of, wait, I've not made any progress. Wait, what? I'll always find this loop funny. Because what you actually have to do is, I believe there's a turn off that you need to do. To try and make the jump. Because one thing you can do is actually turn around, and then this little cloth here is your hint. You want to drop down. And then this will drop you a little further, and then you're on the right path. Bless Gem. Yeah. Because what this place will bring you. Because now, this place is a crypt, one we've seen many a time. And yeah. Yep. Lots of corpses. Now, I believe there's a way through. Yeah, here we go. That'll bring you around to where you need to be. Oh! I forgot to heal. There we go. I was waiting to see how many people. I would look at the chest, just walk past it, and go, I wonder how many people are gonna say, if anyone's actually gonna say anything about it. It's a mimic. Of course it's a mimic, folks. It's this late in the game, there's no way it's not a mimic. I was waiting to see who would say anything. It's always going to be a mimic this late in the game. Doesn't mean you aren't gonna. Doesn't mean you're not gonna get an item from it. Nope. Nope. Damn it. Get off. All right. Okay. I didn't. Well, I won't deny I spent all of Elden Ring slapping every chest, which I think is the, which what I think was kind of the point for them, was to make us all worried mimics were going to be a thing. Ring of the Evil Eye +3. Gotta admit I'm not overly in love with those. The heal per kill is nice, but I'll be perfectly honest, it never seems that worth it. Alright. And yeah. Ooh. Alright, let's take a look. This ring captured the foul spirit of an evil eye, a creature that ravaged Astora. The horrid spirit nearly destroyed Astora, but eventually was defeated by the sword of one most noble. Uh-huh. Astora is one of those storied places. Love to see Andre's homeland, I could imagine, yeah. But yeah, it's one of those things that's always funny to me. If you keep running the same loop, you'll never make any progress. You actually have to turn around, go down, and then eventually it brings you all the way back up. And to a bonfire. Alright. And face to face with the dragon. Yep. And bear in mind, he knows right where you are. Oh, man. I will always love that. He knows exactly where you are. So, he will just change the angle of his fire breath. Oh. Oh. What's that? Yep. And though you see it a lot in Elden Ring, this dragon is the first one we see to have that special breath. Canonically, it's a sign of the fact that he is a true dragon. So descended from the archdragons. Okay. And note, he's not just blocking your way. You have to fight it. Heal up. So. Alright. Yep. Oh, okay. I forgot you have to go the other way to get around it, because he does it backwards. Right, right. Sorry, it's been a little bit since I played with Midir. Again, I just adore this truth that he's... Okay, so first, you want to run up here. Then, when he goes for the second one, go ahead. Get some damage in on him. Then he'll do... Yep. Yeah, he's trying to knock you off. He's trying... Every cheap kill he can try, he's going to. So run back here to avoid this flame. Yep. Yep. Okay. So yeah, feel free to run back, hide from his breath. Yep. And note, he takes a moment and recoil. Yeah. Yep. Alright. Ow. Oh, nope. And got me. Okay. I thought I managed to survive that one. But, as ever, just have to be careful. This is far from impossible. Yep. 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 And that's where you want to go this way. Because you do get some extra. Yep. It's very easy to get flung off. But now he's going to go down, then he's going to go for the laser beam. Nope. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry if I sound like I'm not upset. It's because I'm not. I enjoy dealing with Midir, and this dragon is just one of those enemies who's so much fun to deal with. I mean, yeah, that's pretty decent damage, honestly. Oh, got me. I've long since lost my souls, so I don't really mind dying to him a bunch. Just because I find it funny. I'm sorry, this is just enjoyable, because it's one of those things of, gives me an excuse to play around. It's so rare you get to mess with an enemy. You know what? Let's go with the most... Let's go with the most... Why not? The Dragon Slayer armor. I mean... The Iron Dragon Slayer set. Alright. So then... Now, unfortunately, the Dragon Slayer Spear we have ain't fantastic. I haven't upgraded it. So... we'll go back to the Wolf Knights. Or, you know what, Gundyrs. We're going heavy, so might as well go heavy. Wow. Huh. I will always appreciate that. They're smart enough to... He has a second breath blast that basically... Yep. Alright. Alright. Yeah, we're so heavy anyway, we might as well just pull out the... You know what, we're so heavy, I'm pulling out the Cursed Knight Great Shield. Just tank through it. Yep. Just tank through it because I can. Just because I can. Just because it's heavy enough. Oh, got past the shield. Yeah. If you have a heavy enough build... Yep. There we go. He'll push me off now. Yep. Sorry, it's still funny to me. Go as heavy as you can, and but that is a way to go about this. Is some of the heavier great shields. Like, I do have the strength for the Lothric Knight Great Shield. 100% physical. So if we went for that and, like, the Wolf Knight Sword. We can't roll worth anything, but... Yep. Yep. And then hide from this, because he's about to do the laser blast. Oh, no, I actually didn't go for it. Yeah. Like, you go heavy enough. Yep. And going this heavy does mean alright. You can tank through quite a bit. Alright. Now he's going through across the bridge. And I only need to tank through one of his attacks. Yep. Oh, got me on the second pass. I just want to show the sheer variety of attacks they built into this dragon. Because I want it to be very clear, this dragon hasn't lost his mind. He's corrupted, he's injured, but he has not lost his mind. Like, just let that sink in. He hasn't lost his mind. This dragon is aware and believes he is protecting this city. I just want you to realize what that really means. What you're facing here is not a beast mindless, not a wyvern seeking, food. Alright. The reason he varies his breath attacks is because he's intelligent. He's capable of understanding. Yep. And what's at stake? What he's protecting. Alright. Oop. And get to the hiding spot. Yep. And note, he has a second set of inner jaws. Yep. Yep. Oof. This is the most dangerous attack he has. It's the full-on flail. And you basically have to have run back to that area before he starts pulling it out. Of course, he only pulls it out when he's near death. Naturally, another way to handle him, for some people, is you come this far, and you sit here with a dragon's great bow. A Dragon Slayer great bow. Alright. Naturally, the funniest part is, truth be told, I don't believe you specifically have to kill. I don't know if you... I've never tried to make it, but I'm pretty sure you can't really make it. Yep. Yep. Heal up. Alright. I'm gonna get myself around to grab some stamina, because I'm starting to run out. Yep. Roll under. Yep. Yep. Here it comes. Yep. Full rage attack. He only whips that out once he's about to die. Yep. Alright. Alright. And... okay. Okay. Heal up. Ah, screwed up. That's on me. Yeah, there we go. Now he's going for the hiding spot. And there we go. And we bested him. We've toppled him. And now we've bested him. And sent him off back down into the abyss. But, sadly, we didn't get any souls, so he ain't dead. That's the simple truth. That should tell you a lot. He isn't dead. We didn't get any souls from him. So he's out there somewhere. Lots of more of the Silver Knights. Well, and another crystal lizard to try and trap us, so let's see what they're trying to lead us into. An elevator, and the image of Gwyn holding a crown and something else in his hand, offering it to what we would assume is the further pygmy, a human. Well, elevators are usually how we backtrack. And elevators are how we backtrack. And we've reached all the way back to the inner wall. There'll be more to explore next time, but I have to call it here because I have to start getting ready for work. But we're learning more. We're seeing more, and we're seeing more of the truth that had been forgotten and covered up for various reasons. Well, either way, folks, thank you all for joining me. I have been the Ephemeral One, and this has been more of Dark Souls 3. Thank you all, and I'll see you next time on this or maybe something else. Bye for now, folks. Bye for now.